On the day of the company's dividend, my wife suddenly accused me of dereliction of duty and asked me to hand over the case that was about to be closed to her so-called first love. I just laughed and handed over my partner position to her precious first love as well. Why not? All that traveling and work isn't for me. I'll just let you have the partnership instead. Everyone thought I'd lost my mind, but they didn't know I had the case's key evidence in my hands. Without me, the case I've painstakingly followed for a year would become a ticking time bomb, and Jackie would face client backlash and a mountain of debt. Ollie, you're the real reason this company is where it is today. This entire bonus is for in the main boardroom. Jackie, the head of Langston Grace, smiled and pulled Ollie close, handing him a thick stack of envelopes. Suddenly, everyone around them broke into applause, cheering. With a top talent like Ollie on board, the company is bound to thrive. Jackie sure has an eye for talent. The way she and attorney Maddox work together, it's like they're a couple. I watched the scene from the back, unable to help a bitter smile, my hand clenching the file I was holding. Today was supposed to be the day for our quarterly dividends, but just as I pulled into Langston Grace's lot, Jackie called, telling me to go out and push for the final report on a client case. Being married to her for years, I trusted Jackie completely. Thinking it was just another client in a rush, I turned my car around, spending the entire day running errands in near 100-degree heat. When I saw Jackie hand the entire dividend over to Ollie, a kid who hadn't been with us even 2 months, I understood everything. The call hadn't been about an impatient client. It was just a way to get me out of the office. She just wanted to gift my hard-earned work from the last year to her precious high school sweetheart. When Ollie saw me enter, he feigned surprise. "Oh, Mike, you're just now getting here? You were out on leave, so I started without you. Hope you don't mind." His tone was respectful, but the glint of challenge in his eyes as he flaunted his bonus was unmistakable. Jackie's face held no trace of apology, and she looked at me with clear disdain. "What's that look for, Mike? Did you really expect everyone to wait just for you? No wonder you drag every case out. It's like you're deliberately holding the company back. Now that you're here, hand that case over to Ollie. He'll handle it better than you and make sure there aren't any surprises." Her authoritative tone left no room for argument, and I clenched my fists, feeling a chill in my chest. That case she referred to was the toughest one I had ever worked on. The client was a local billionaire, and his down payment alone was $500,000. The case involved international financial disputes, and I'd been to hell and back, crossing time zones and working myself to the bone to piece it together, even to the point of damaging my health. Now, with the end in sight, Jackie wanted to sweep in, take all my effort, and just hand it to Ollie. I couldn't help but feel the injustice of it all. When Jackie had dreamed of starting a business, I hadn't hesitated. I left my own thriving career, put up all my savings, and stood by her from scratch. But without any professional background, Jackie struggled to keep the company running. The weight of every project has fallen squarely on my shoulders over the years. My hard work and dedication are the only reasons the company is where it is today. But Ollie, after a handful of business trips with Jackie, got all my credit effortlessly. Looking back, Jackie was truly heartless. 10 years of marriage meant less than an old boyfriend who'd once dumped her. Now she had drained the last bit of loyalty I had left. I nodded numbly, my voice flat. "Fine, have it your way." Ollie's eyes flashed with triumph, but he still pretended to be modest. "Mike, I'm just a new guy. No way I'm ready to take on $1 million case. I only offered to help because Jackie mentioned you'd been on it for a year without finishing. I just wanted to lighten your load a bit." Jackie patted Ollie's shoulder warmly, encouraging him. "Ollie, you're a top talent from overseas. If you can't handle it, no one here can." I merely laughed out loud. Ollie's education had been bought with a fat check. He couldn't even recite the basics during his interview. But Jackie treated him like gold, paid him an outrageous salary, and pampered him like royalty. After soothing Ollie, Jackie looked at me with scorn. "Mike, let's be honest. Without me, you wouldn't be where you are now. You've had your fun, but maybe it's time to remember your place. If Ollie hadn't spoken up for you, I'd have fired you a long time ago." I couldn't help but laugh coldly to myself. Jackie seemed to forget that when she started Langston Grace, I had guided every move, taught her everything, and sacrificed my health and pride to win clients. Now that the company was thriving, she didn't thank me. Instead, she resented me belittling every effort ID made. Jackie's tirade continued, painting me as some irredeemable problem in her perfect quick vision of the company. Taking a deep breath, I turned to face Ollie directly. Our co-workers looked between us, ready for the drama to unfold, convinced Ollie and I would clash. But instead I smiled, pulled a partnership transfer document from my bag, and threw it on Ollie's desk. All that travel, so exhausting. Why don't you take my partnership to for a moment? Everyone in the office stood frozen, staring at me with wide eyes. They thought I'd gone crazy, that I was just lashing out. After all, everyone knew how much effort I'd put in to reach this point in the company. Mike, you're the second largest partner here. You've earned this. Don't make any rash decisions, a colleague urged, Jackie's face twisted with anger. Assuming I was threatening her. Mike, will you cut this out? Just because I said a few things, now you're throwing a tantrum. Don't forget, I'm the majority stakeholder now. After handing over the partnership to Ollie, a strange sense of peace washed over me. The burden I had carried for years was finally gone. But deep down, I knew the real reckoning was still ahead. I had all the evidence I needed to turn the tide in my favor, and now it was just a matter of waiting for the perfect moment to act. In the first few days, Ollie behaved like the new king of the company. He gave orders, reshuffled teams, and tried to impress clients with an air of superiority disguised as humility. Jackie stood by his side, beaming with pride, convinced that her high school sweetheart was elevating the company to new heights. But it didn't take long for the cracks to appear. Ollie missed critical deadlines, submitted incomplete reports, and made changes without consulting anyone. The billionaire client, already known for being difficult, grew furious as the case fell apart. Internal company communications revealed their growing desperation. Ollie scrambling to fix the damage and Jackie becoming increasingly stressed, trying to salvage her reputation. Yet, she refused to admit the obvious. She had placed the company's future in the wrong hands. Eventually, the billionaire terminated the contract and filed a lawsuit for negligence, demanding an astronomical sum in damages. This sparked a chain reaction. Other key clients, fearing their projects would also be mishandled, began withdrawing their business. The once prestigious name of Langston Grace quickly became synonymous with failure. As Jackie and Ollie fought to keep the company afloat, I prepared my next move. With the firm in shambles and Ollie drowning in his own incompetence, I filed a lawsuit against Langston Grace. I accused them of sabotage, manipulation, and fraud, backing every claim with internal emails and documents. I wasn't just seeking compensation. I wanted to expose every detail of their betrayal and make sure they paid dearly for it. The trial was a spectacle. Jackie and Ollie tried to frame it as a common internal dispute, but my evidence was overwhelming. I presented emails showing how they had schemed to push me out and how the company's downfall began the moment Ollie took over. Watching Jackie's face as she read her own incriminating messages was priceless. Ollie, who had tried to maintain a confident front, began to visibly sweat as his failures were laid bare. The verdict was clear. The company was ordered to pay me a hefty settlement for the damages I had endured, along with reinstating my partnership rights. But the final blow came when the firm's assets were auctioned off to cover their debts and my compensation. Jackie and Ollie could only watch, helpless, as every piece of what they had built was sold for next to nothing. What remained of Langston Grace was a mere shadow of its former self. While they drowned in debt and disgrace, I used the settlement money to launch my own business, something I had always dreamed of doing. This time, every decision was mine. Success came swiftly, and without Jackie's manipulation holding me back, my talents finally shone. In no time, my business expanded to new cities, and I became a respected figure in the industry. As my life flourished, Jackie and Ollie faded into obscurity. Jackie, once so confident, lost all her influence and was shunned by former friends and colleagues. Ollie, unable to find work anywhere, was left with a ruined reputation. The foreign talent they had once celebrated was now regarded as a complete amateur. I later heard rumors that Jackie and Ollie had split. Their relationship couldn't withstand the pressure and the failure. She blamed him for everything, and he accused her of ruining the company over a childish obsession. They parted ways bitterly, each one more defeated than the other. Meanwhile, my life moved on peacefully. I was exactly where I was meant to be, at the top, free from manipulation and betrayal. My revenge wasn't just exposing Jackie and Ollie. It was living better, knowing they had destroyed themselves. And with every achievement I reached, the weight of their betrayal lifted a little more, leaving behind only the sweet satisfaction that, in the end, I was the one who truly won. With the collapse of Langston Grace, the market quickly adjusted. Disgruntled clients, frustrated with the disaster Jackie and Ollie had caused, began seeking new partners. It didn't take long for many of them to come to me. I had the expertise, the competence, and, most importantly, a spotless reputation. My new business grew rapidly, bolstered by the migration of former Langston Grace clients. The irony was undeniable. The downfall of Jackie and Ollie had become the catalyst for my success. The connections I'd built over the years, combined with the goodwill from clients who knew the truth about my ousting, opened doors I never thought possible. Meanwhile, the board members of Langston Grace, desperate to salvage what was left of the company, realized that keeping Jackie and Ollie on was untenable. Their mismanagement had not only destroyed the company's reputation, but also left it drowning in debt and lawsuits. With no other option, the board fired both of them, cutting all ties in an attempt to stabilize the sinking ship. As my company thrived, I heard rumors that Jackie and Ollie were struggling. With no income and no credibility, they were knocking on doors across the industry, searching for any opportunity. But nobody wanted to hire them. The business world can be ruthless toward those who fail so publicly. And then, something happened that I couldn't have planned better. One day, both Jackie and Ollie walked into my company, looking for jobs. They had no idea I owned the business. They entered the lobby modestly dressed, holding their resumes, as if they still held some relevance in the industry. When I saw them standing there at the reception desk, I had to stifle a laugh. My assistant discreetly informed me that 2 former executives from Langston Grace were here, hoping to apply for any available positions. I told my assistant to send them in. When they walked into my office, trying to project some dignity, they were visibly nervous. But the moment they saw me seated at the desk, their faces went pale. It was like watching a scene from a movie, the hope draining from their eyes, replaced by dread and disbelief. "Mike, you're the owner?" Jackie stammered, her voice shaky. I leaned forward, a cold smile spreading across my face. "That's right, and it seems you're here, asking me for jobs." Ollie tried to keep his composure. "We just need a chance. We're willing to start from the ground up." "Interesting," I replied, crossing my arms. "There are openings, actually. We need someone to serve coffee and keep the meeting rooms tidy. If you're interested, there's a spot for you. If not," I paused, savoring the moment. "You can leave right now." Jackie's mouth dropped open in shock, and Ollie looked like he was about to burst from embarrassment. They hadn't expected this kind of humiliation. They thought they could escape the consequences of their actions. "This is ridiculous," Jackie muttered, trying to cling to a shred of pride. "After everything we did at Langston Grace, you're offering us janitorial roles?" "After everything you did," I corrected sharply. "The collapse of Langston Grace was entirely your doing. The only reason my company is thriving today is because you two ran the other one into the ground. If you don't want to serve coffee, there's the door." A long silence hung in the air. Jackie and Ollie exchanged helpless glances, realizing they had no options left. Defeated, they stood up without another word and walked out of my office, their faces etched with shame. Watching them leave filled me with a sense of satisfaction beyond words. The perfect revenge wasn't just their downfall. It was having them crawl back to me, begging for a chance, and knowing that, deep down, they understood their fate was the result of their own greed and betrayal. As they walked out the door, I took a deep breath and smiled. Life had come full circle, and now I was exactly where I was meant to be, in control, while those who had wronged me had nowhere left to turn.